So, welcome back to Close Enough Garage. We're going to do front brakes today, and the reason is on this side, I've been hearing kind of a funny noise when I've been driving, and I'm hoping it's not a wheel bearing. I'm hoping I've got a hanging caliper or perhaps a glazed pad or something like that that's causing it. It's almost kind of a whistle on this side when I'm driving, but we'll go ahead. Got the hood popped. I've worked on mostly old school vehicles, and I know back when I learned and back when I was taught, you always pop the hood and took the lid off the master brake cylinder and set it aside while you worked on this. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case with something newer like this. I'd still do it anyway. Somebody will be brave enough to jump in the comments and tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong. So, you want to get your lug nuts broke free when the car is sitting on the ground and it's got the weight of the car on them. Otherwise, your wheel's just going to spin when it's up in the air. So we got them broke free. Now, a lot of times you jack your car up with the pinch weld underneath. It's that seam that goes along the outside of the body, just inside your side skirts there. I've lived in Northeast Ohio my whole life, and I've collapsed so many pinch welds. So I typically come in from a different angle. You'll see I've got it set up over here up front, and I find something sturdier like a main suspension bolt or a junction where a control arm meets into actual solid frame, something really sturdy like that. Never the bottom of your engine, never the bottom of your transmission, basically never anything that moves. So we're going to get it jacked up, and I'll get the wheel off. You're going to ignore the fact that my tires are down to the wear bars. I'm out of money, and we'll go ahead and get these brakes done. So now we've got the front of the car jacked up. I'm going to go ahead and just zip these off with the impact. They should come right out now because I've already broken them loose. Honestly, I love this little 3/8 impact, but it just doesn't have the guts for the bigger jobs like breaking loose lug nuts. That's where you still gotta kind of use the force of man. And speaking of, a lot of times you're gonna find out that even with the lug nuts off, your wheel is frozen on. Once again, the force of man will usually get you where you need to be. So, we got our brakes exposed here. I can already tell you, looks like I've got plenty of pad, but they're pretty tight on there too. I might just have a caliper that's hanging up. We will see. Now, get everything organized here again. I am missing a socket. So I wasn't missing it at all, it just fell into a different slot. So we got this turned to loosen. You got a bolt usually, and this is how most cars are going to be set up. You got a bolt on each side and the back. So you just zip those out. And they come free pretty easily usually. So I'm going to put that back where it actually belongs this time. Pull out the bolts that are holding your caliper on. 2 bolts, and you'll see there's 2 different pieces. You got your frame here that holds everything on around the rotor, and then you got your caliper bolts, which is what we just popped loose. Get up under right in the middle there with a flathead screwdriver. Just go ahead and rock it back and forth. Now, a lot of times you're going to want to take a bungee cord and suspend it from your coil spring or some above so it's not just hanging by the brake line, but we're already in here and I've got it off, so I'm not too worried. So we get behind your brake pad, pop the old one out. Now after 5 years of driving, I still have over half my pads here. This Detroit axle kit was actually pretty good, and I'm pretty good with my brakes, but doesn't mean that the factory axle or caliper wasn't seized. This pad doesn't really appear to be glazed either. I still got over half the thickness left, so Once I start collapsing the caliper back in to put it on, we'll figure out real quick if it's been seized up for a while or not. Then I'll do another video about replacing the caliper, which is also a fairly easy job. Now you got your hardware kit, top and bottom, that your pads are going to ride in. Go ahead and pop that off. Your brake discs or your brake pads should have come with new ones. If they don't, get them. It's like $5 or $10, and they're important. It helps everything move freely. So, got those off. Thoroughly clean everything in there. It looks good. Yep. Get your new hardware kit here. Now these come with squeal tabs, which are supposed to make your brakes squeal when your brake pads are low. Kind of a dickhead. I don't ever put those on if I don't have to. If they're not integrated with the pads. Now these brake pads I did get from Amazon. It's a Bosch kit. It's just the ceramic pads, which is what I've had on here, and hardware, and it was like $30. So now that you got those on, even comes with a little bit of brake grease. You're going to put just the thinnest film in here right where your pads ride. You don't want to goop it up a lot so it doesn't transfer over onto your brake rotor and make your brakes not be brakes anymore. You need friction there for those to stop. So I got that in. Go ahead, slide this pad right up in here. Yeah, I had, judging by these, more than half the pad left still. I could have gone another 10, 15 years without having to change these if something else didn't force me to. Now, you might think you're done, but you're not. What you're going to do next is you're going to take one of your old brake pads, you put it right up in here against the face of your piston. Now some cars, like Ford's, my wife has a Fusion, they've got a different tool you're going to have to go out and buy or rent from AutoZone or something like that, that actually spins the piston back in. This one is one of the easy ones. It just presses it right in there for you. So you put your old pad there, you get on something solid on the back. I'm actually just using the brake hose bolt because shouldn't have to put a lot of pressure in. And yeah, that caliper is not frozen at all. That's a good thing and a bad thing, because now I get to test drive it, see if that noise is still there, and start looking at wheel bearing and all that other stuff. Now that you got that piston compressed in there with your trusty C-clamp, go ahead, slip your caliper back in, make sure the rubber boots that protect everything are not bunched up in there. Can we just stay right there? Don't move, I'll be right back. Now these bolts are specialty. They're made so your caliper can slide on it, so you're going to go ahead and clean those off. Take just a little bit more of this grease. Keeps it slippery, it keeps corrosion from getting in there. It is brake grease specifically, that's what you want to use, just keep it off your threads. Now we'll get this caliper set back up in here. Now a lot of guys swear by putting different bits of lube here and there, and you know, everyone seems to have their own way. There's a lot of guys that think their way is the only way, and I'm probably going to hear about it in the comments, but just these couple of places to lube is all I've ever needed to do. Changing brakes on a car is one of the first things I was taught to be able to do when I was about like 7 or 8 years old. I'm 40 now. I've done brakes on more vehicles than I can remember. Now, if you're using an impact, of course, you're going to want to go ahead and start your threads by hand. You don't ever start your threads with an impact, because you could cross thread them and all that other good stuff. So, zip them back on. Get all the ugga duggas. Now that's done, we're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and move all my junk off to the side here. Get all my trash out of the way. And then we're going to get this wheel back on, get the car back on the ground. The last step you're gonna do is get inside and just go ahead and pump the brakes about 5-10 times. Get this space taken up here, this wiggle that's in the caliper. Get it all set back to where it needs to be. And then usually I drive the car about 10-20 foot in reverse, slam on the brakes, because I've had a lot of vehicles that could only adjust the brakes that way once they're reinstalled. Other than that, yeah, just put the wheel back on, get the car off the jack. Don't forget you got your master cylinder undone there, so go ahead and tighten that cap back on, close your hood. Should be good to go. So nice and easy, that's exactly how you do the front brakes. Really any disc brake on a majority of vehicles out there, they're going to be almost completely similar. I found a few special cases. Do I have them here to show you? No. So if this doesn't work for your car, sorry about your luck. Really though, it's a basic job and you can save yourself a lot of money by going to a mechanic and all that stuff. By the time you buy the basic tools that you would need to do something like this, you're already in the green anyway. And then finally, I really need to wash this thing. Also want to add that yes, this is my way. This is how I've always done it. This is a way that has never failed me. There's always going to be 50 people out there for every one that learns something. And they're all going to be like, well, no, you need to do this way. You can do that way. You don't have to do that anymore. That's great. But if you're sitting here watching my video and you already know everything, what the hell are you doing with your life? It's beautiful out. Go out, have fun, go make something of yourself, go be productive. You know, quit watching my videos if you already know it all. So anyway, on a much more positive note, as usual, hopefully we've helped somebody else again today. Go ahead, do the like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Y'all be safe out there and have a great summer. It's already starting off amazing.